want to know. Join the info show. It's the info. It's the info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. It's the info. It's the info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. It's the info. Info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info.
Okay, everybody. This is Information Man. I'm live. We're live. We got brother Bmiles of the Conscious Channel, Bmiles 84 of the Conscious Channel that's on live with us right now. Basically, everybody out there listening, we are going to get into this issue. Let me get rid of the feedback right there. Boom. There you go. Get rid of that feedback. A little bit of feedback there, but we got rid of it. Brother Miles.
Yeah. What's going on?
All right, brother. Let me just say this right now, brother. I heard you earlier today, and you were out and about, as you always are when you do your videos. You're out and about. You're in the element. You're in the community. You're from Baltimore, Maryland. And what I want to do, I'm gonna unwrap the avatar that we got up there so we can get to it. But before I begin, I want to definitely give you a clap for being here, brother. And some thunder. And some thunder. Now, what we're going to do tonight is that, folks, we're going to tell the truth. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the ADOS. Now, I did a video prior to this video with Brother Miles where I entitled it African American Descendants of Slaves. And I had a lot of people in the comment section correct me on that and say that the proper term is American Descendants of Slaves. And let me go ahead and before I unlock the avatar and have Bmiles show himself, let me just read something to everybody out there listening. What is the proper breakdown of the ADOS? The ADOS was started by the brain trust of Howard graduates and host of Breaking Brown political show, Eva Carlett, and UCLA alumni and attorney Antonio Moore, as we know as Tone Talks. ADOS, which stands for American Descendants of Slavery, seeks to reclaim, restore the critical national character of African American identity and experience, one grounded in our group's unique lineage, which is central to our continuing struggle for social and economic justice in the United States of America. Now, this is a history that goes from 1600 to 1700 to the 1800s to the 1900s. We're talking about Jim Crow, Reconstruction. Black people have gone under have paid a hell of a price, as I've said before. We fought in every war that this country's ever had, from the Revolutionary War up to today. Black people have had to deal with redlining. Okay, we were segregated. We were put in schools that were separate but not equal. we've had to deal with. Brother Miles, if you can just can you mute your sound for just one moment, brother? Because there's a lot of feedback.
Yes, sir.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Just for a moment, and then I'll bring you on. I want to just finish this part of the program up for tonight, or just started the program. So we've gone through a hell of a lot as Black people in this country. From another thing, there were what we call sundown cities. A lot of these sundown cities were in the north, where Black people had to get out of town. Okay, that's part of our oppression. You've heard of the Green Book, where Black people had to travel in certain parts of this country, across country, where they could not use the bathroom. You would have grandmothers and grandfathers and great uncles and fathers and mothers and cousins that would have to relieve themselves on the side of the road. That's part of Jim Crow. That's part of the racism. That's part of reparations. That's part of ADOS. Okay, so when you have other beautiful Black people in a diaspora who are saying to us, what is wrong with us distinguishing ourselves? We are distinguishing ourselves based on what we have gone through in this country where we were born. And we know that our Jamaican brothers and Caribbean brothers, as I said before, they're fighting for reparations from the UK. The UK brothers and sisters are fighting for reparations from the UK as well. And you have many Black folks in the diaspora who are fighting to get Europeans out of their land, out of their country. They want their land. They want payment due to them. And so globally, Black people, melanated Black people in the world, are dealing with their issue where they live, where they are grounded. We know that the Haitian Revolution is a big reason why the United States is formed the way it is through the middle of the whole country. We know that the Haitians have been paying a reparation to the French, and we know that the Haitians want money and reparations back from the French for what they have done to them as well. So it's a global battle for all Black people in the diaspora. But here in America, as ADOS, we must distinguish ourselves to what has happened to us here in America. Black people have been redlined. We have been the first fired. We have been the last hired and the first fired. Okay. Our forefathers have been treated poorly. Black people have had land taken from them, stolen from them, misappropriated from them. We've had Black inventors who could not get patents unless the Europeans would allow them to give them a patent. They've had their inventions stolen from them. We know that the Black farmers took a long time to fight and battle to get what is due to them in this country, and they still didn't get enough money, which they should have gotten. I said that reparations in my last video should be institutionalized as well. Black people should be exempt from military service. We should be exempt from taxes. Matter of fact, if we didn't have to pay taxes, we would have a boom of extra money given to us. Oh, I also believe that we shouldn't have to pay income tax, and we should not we should get all of our check, all gross of it. And look at what that could do for us economically, an economic boom for us. Now, in terms of housing, we should be able to get housing. We should have certain benefits for housing. Our children should be able to go to any college free of charge. If they have their grades together and they got their shit together, they should go to college free of charge. Okay. Black, if I want to open up a business, a farm, whatever, I should not have to worry about being redlined if I've got my paperwork in order. These are some of the examples of how we could deal with reparations from an institutionalist system, because you know you're going to have some folks out there that are going to say you ain't going to get a check. Now, those who should get a check, I must repeat, should be our forefathers who went through Jim Crow. So if you got a great grandfather who's still alive, a grandfather, someone who lived through the civil rights or Jim Crow era, they should definitely get a fat check given to them, because you can identify them because they're alive. And if they're not even alive, you can identify your great grandfather and your grandmother who had businesses. I had a grandfather who had a chicken coop business. He raised chickens. So I should be able to identify where he owned that business if we have proper paperwork. Using the system that the Native Americans have used to get money, this is what we should do. So with that said, and my diatribe right now, let me go right ahead and bring Brother Bmiles on right now with another clap. Brother Bmiles, how you doing, brother? It's glad to have you here, brother.
Oh man, I'm doing wonderful, man. I can't complain. What's going on?
It's all good, brother. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for being patient with my diatribe before we went on.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That had to be said, and I had to break down the definition because we got a lot of people running around giving inappropriate definitions of what the ADOS is about. I myself made a mistake when I did my first video in the description of that in my title, and folks have since corrected me on that. So with that said, brother, and glad to have you here again. What are your thoughts? How you feeling tonight? You in Baltimore, brother. And by the way, I was born in Baltimore. I got family in Baltimore. My father, my brother, my sister, family members, they're out there. And you are a be more, brother. Be more. I like to say crab cakes to you, brother. Main season crab, baby.
I know, right?
Main season crab, baby. You know. And,
I know, right?
Yeah. So let's go right. Let's get into it, brother. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, I definitely gotta say, like when it come down to the ADOS movement, man, I really feel as though like it's actually a great thing that's going on right about now because it's about that time that us over here in the Western Hemisphere in the United States that we got to, we have to like, as a people, man, we really gotta like formally vote strong and also we have to establish our identity and also as though about this movement, it's really putting the foot on the neck of these politicians as well, because a lot of these politicians, man, they have always ignored us over the years and stuff like that. And what I found out to be really amazing is that, I'm seeing brothers and sisters, from like the Caribbean and, from the Caribbean and some of them from Latin America, even some of them black immigrants out of Africa, all of a sudden now they got a gripe with what we're doing. But I'm saying to myself, like, why would y'all have a gripe about this when at the same time we are the ones that paved the way for you? So, to the point where I actually had this guy named Soul Traveler, talking about anti-black immigrant. But I told him, I put out a video saying, no, we are not anti-black immigrant. We only against those of them who was against us. Because we have had a lot of brothers and sisters that came from the Caribbean and also from Latin America. When they come over here, they reap the rewards and the benefits of our struggle, but it's never reciprocated. And even some African immigrants to like, extend our hand to, a lot of times they do the exact same thing. They reap the rewards and the benefits of our struggle, and it's never reciprocated. Then they turn around to hear the same people that they benefiting from. You want to call them lazy. So what I find to be about this movement, I find it to be a great thing because now that we are united as one people in the United States, I feel as though it should happen all over the diaspora. But I'm just saying specifically when it comes to those of us in North America as melanated people, I feel as though that now is a great time to do it because, this thing is really picking up a lot of momentum. It's picking up a lot of momentum, man. And I have seen some brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and Latin America that do support it. I have like quite a few Haitians that told me that support. I actually got this black Puerto Rican sister that I know she's down with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like even some Africans that agree with it. But see, what this movement is doing is really sifting out who's who and what's what. That's what I'm saying. It is sifting out who's real and who's fake. And I'm actually going to put out a video, it's going to be the ADOS message to the diaspora to let them know we only look at, it's like this. We are staking our claim as a people up here in North America, as the ADOS. And we are staking our claim that us as a people up here, it's time that we rightfully should get, it's about that time that we rightfully get what's ours. Because many other groups come over here and they always benefit better than we do off of our own struggle, but then turn around and try to say that we are lazy. When a lot of the same damn people that call us lazy play the damn sideline. Mm-hmm. So what we saying is that we are tired, we are waking up, and now it's about the time that we get the piece of the pie. And at the same time, when we get the piece of the pie, it should be the biggest piece of the pie because we have been the foundation of this nation. Like I say all the time, we are the originators, innovators, trendsetters, and trailblazers of this nation and of this world. And it's about that time that we rightfully get what's ours.
Okay, let me let me preface what you're just saying right now and say the same thing. And just for everybody to know out there, we're live on Spreaker. It's my podcasting system. So I have a whole different audience over there that are listening. So I want to say peace and love to everybody in Spreaker that's listening. And once again, everybody in the chat room, I see we got my man Art out there. We got Vonda Harris out there. Brother D. Durrell, who's a therapist, licensed therapist in mental health. We got my man Cap. We got other people coming in. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and give the channel some love and follow what we're doing over here. And I will put Brother Bmiles' channel and it's in the description of this video. Also, the definition that I read off is in the description of this video. And Bmiles of the Conscious channel, I'm going to be putting his links in the chat room. So everybody definitely support what the brother is about over there. But I wanted to say peace to everybody in the chat room. We got my man Joe out there. We got many people coming in. And I want to thank you all for coming in. Because I know, and Yusef, thank you for being here. I know, and Brother Gab Talk Media is here. We got Dallas Slade is here. Thank you for being here. Lady M is here. Ahmad is here. Eyes 84. I guess she must be someone that follows you on your channel, brother. Those of you that are here, thank you for being here. It's a Saturday night, a very busy night in YouTube. So, you know, y'all coming over here and giving the channel some love. We appreciate that. Now,
how many people in the chat?
We got about 56, but I think we'll have people coming in because, you know, Saturday night's a very competitive night on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to have more people coming in as we go on. Let me ask you this. And we're going to talk about our Caribbean brothers. And I'm going to say to them that this is no shade to them. I think that we got to stand and unify, but Black people in America have to do what we have to do. But what would you say to Black people who were born here, who are now saying, you're never going to get reparations? Why are we begging? Why are we associating ourselves with slavery? Why do we want to connect ourselves to slavery and descendants? Why can't we move on? We got so many opportunities in America. Come on, Black people. Stop crying and whining. Move forward. You're not slaves. Come on. Why are you using these fancy slogans? What do you would say to people that talk like that, brother? And by the way, let me go ahead and say peace and love to Brother D. Durrell, who's just super chatted me. So here go a clap for you. Okay, Brother Bmiles, tell the truth. What are your thoughts?
All right, okay. Check it out, the right light. So those people that want to talk like that, you know, those people really need to have a reality check. Now, I'm going to say this though, right now, I really do believe us as a people that we should move forward. But at the same time, we still got to address all of the problems of where they come from. Now, all right, let me sort of now, I do understand that, you know what I'm saying, that we are much more greater than being descendants of slavery. But ever since we've been living over here in the United States, we have still been living under that same cycle of perpetual slavery. Now, mind you, we might not be in the same condition of our ancestors, but we are still catching hell of what our ancestors have gone through. You know, I do understand that we might not be chains and shackles, but at the same time, the level of racism in this country is still there. And mind you, I'm willing to bet you any amount of money if this country was to take us back into slavery, this country would not mind. Because a lot of, trust and believe me, there's a lot of racist white people in this country who would not mind seeing melanated people back into slavery. And even, you know what I mean? And even to those people that are classified as white, who side with white supremacy, you know what I'm saying? They would not mind seeing us back into slavery. So back to the case in point, I'm going to say this now, we should move forward as a people. But we also got to look at all of the problems of what we've been through and of what all of them problems stem from, because all these things are what we've been seeing down through the centuries. Guess what? They are perpetually still being used against us to this very day.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Right. I'm talking about all of the problems that stem from back in the day. They said the very day, because Because my thing is this: how are you going to sit there and tell the people that they got to move on when at the same time, the same problems of what happened yesterday are still affecting us of today. And guess what? The same descendants, you know what I mean? Just like a prime example, like you might not have been a slave master, but that same racist mindset has been passed on genetically. So if the same problems are keep being passed on, you know what I mean? Now, if they want us to get past slavery, guess what? They got to get past their racist mindset. You don't understand where I'm coming from? Because how are we going to get past something that is still there unless we're going to tackle this thing head on? You know, so I'm going to say now we should move forward as a people, but at the same time, we should always remember to never forget. Because I'm going to say this: nobody says anything to the Jewish community about the Holocaust. Nobody says nothing about all the other. Nobody says nothing when they come down to 9/11. They always say never forget, but yet they want to tell us that we should forget. And I'm going to say us as a people, we should never ever forget that, because that is still a part of the fabric of this nation and of the legacy of our struggle.
Exactly. Let me go ahead. We got a lot of people that's coming in. Let me go. We got someone who's a California representative of the ADOS. And I want to say thank you for the super chat. They go by the name Kyle. I guess that's short for California, CALI, short for California ADOS. Let me just say this, brother. This is the thing I noticed. We know that slavery was a very disappointing, a very harsh, a very painful part of our history. And what would you say to some that want to just forget this? Now, you hear a lot of this kind of talk out of some conservative Black folks who will tell you, why don't you stop talking about the past and move forward? And you made a good point. Jewish people, Asians, and other groups of people, they will tell you in a minute, never forget your history. And they teach their kids to never forget the history.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Black people in America? We know it's a harsh history, so some don't want to recall the history. We don't want to talk about it, right? And I know in Brazil, they don't like to identify sometimes as being Black when they are Black, because being Black, for example, in Brazil, puts you is called having one foot in the slave quarters. And I think Black people in America have that same type of syndrome, that if we talk about that part of our history, it's not the only part of our history, but it's one part, that it's somehow we're putting ourselves back in the slave quarters again. And I think a lot of us don't want to be in slave quarters again, so we don't want to address it. We don't want to deal with it, and we try to shut other Black people up who want to talk about these issues. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's because a lot of our people, they still got their worldly relationship up in them, and a lot of our people, they say that because they always want to fit in with white America and stuff like that. You know, a lot of our people, you know, they are Uncle Toms and stuff like that. You feel me?
Yes.
And a lot of our people, they have really been programmed. Put it like this: 2/3 of our people, I'm gonna say 2/3 of our people, man, they are literally programmed with this white mindset. A lot of our people are nothing but white people in Black skin. A lot of them are nothing but white people in Black skin, and for a lot of our people to actually go there and say like, "Oh, you should just move on" and stuff like that. Like I said, it's nothing wrong moving on, but we should never forget about that part of our history, because like I said, because it's a very harsh. But the reason why I say we should never forget, because the minute that we forget, we can wind up in the same situation once again.
Yes.
You know, because like I'm telling you, man, like that situation can very well happen again. And for people to always say we gotta just move forward and forget about the past. No. Now, why should we forget about it? Now, I'm not going to say that we should. That's part of the reason why I say that we should always learn and study our history. Yes. Because, and mind you, we need to research our own history, because our history in the Americas really goes deeper than slavery anyway, which means a lot of us were already here. And so what we got to understand is that, like, dealing with Blackness and dealing with this part of our history, man, like, we also got to take a look at a lot of the things that we've done, you know what I'm saying, coming out of slavery. I mean, I'm talking about, look at all of the great many cultures that we have Like, look at all of the great things from Black American culture that we have done coming from this history. You feel what I'm saying? We have done some amazing things. We have done so much, brought so much culture. We have brought so many things to this world. I'm talking about coming out of that, element of slavery. You understand? So the reason why I say we should never forget, and for people to say that we should never forget, I mean, how can I explain this? That's just like you're trying to find your way out, but you don't know where you came from. How it's like how do you going to it's like how are you going to go through this maze when you don't know where you started? So I say to them that we should. I'm gonna say we should learn from the mistakes of our condition and what we have been through. Because my thing is how can we move on when the same thing keeps on happening, the same perpetual things? Okay, they might not be done overtly, but they done covertly. You know what I'm saying? They think all because they might not see the same level of racism, like how we did back in the day, doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't exist.
Brother,
that's why we should never forget about that.
What do you say? I've been in discussions and panels, and I've debated with brothers about what would you say to some people that would say, well, how do you go about getting these reparations? How many people can prove that they are descendants of slaves? And what about the mixed race people and and all that kind of stuff? What would you say to that? How do you go about? Because I know, for example, we know, tell me if I'm wrong or right, brother. And you in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken, is the most southernest northern state in this union because it's very close to the Macy-Dixie line. That's what my brother always say. God damn it. I'm telling you, we're gonna get into it. The Macy. So most Black people migrated to the north and other parts of the country in terms of that era. Came in here in terms of slavery and coming from the continent. Because certainly we know that Black people were here on this part of the world, have been traveling here. Ancient Black people have been here. But in terms of slavery, we know that Black people were dropped off in one of the first states to introduce this slave system, which was Virginia. Then you had North Carolina. Then you had South Carolina. We know that most Black people got here through the South. And you can trace your history in slavery from the South. Most Black people that were born here have some lineage, to a ancestor who came over on some of these ships, like the good ship Jesus.
Right.
And you forgot about that, folks? Go right ahead, Bmiles. We're going to get into it Baltimore style tonight, goddammit.
Oh, man. Wow. That was a deep question, man. That was a deep question. Woo, man. Wow. You said how Baltimore is the most northern southern state. Yeah, man. You're absolutely right, though, man. Because when I was actually walking down this place called Druid Hill Park, and this brother was actually showing me. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "This is where they used to have a lot of slave houses." And mind you, there's a famous market in Baltimore called Lexington Market.
Speak on it.
Lexington Market still stands there to this very day. And this is exactly the same place where they had a lot of slave auctions. A lot of the slaves, they were dropped off in this place, in Baltimore called, downtown in the harbor, stuff like that. And a lot of them came from Fells Point. A lot of them came from Fells Point, man, and I must say, Maryland was like a big time slave state, and even to this very day, I can still feel the tension, and I can still feel the negative energy, just by it's put it like this: Maryland, it's a dark cloud over the state of Maryland, and ever since I was little, I always felt the negative energy of racism in the city. And back to what I'm saying, and what's so crazy about slavery in Baltimore is that, there was a lot of breeding farms over there in Eastern Shore. That was on the movie Hidden Colors, and a lot of there was a lot of buck breaking going on. There was a lot of buck breaking that was going on. A lot of what else? Just a lot of incest was going on, and there's been a lot of and this stuff has been trans down to the DNA of our people.
Okay,
you
now,
know,
Brother Bmiles, not to cut you off, but I must have you break this down a little bit further as far as the butt breaking, because this is why Black people have paid a hell of a price, and we deserve everything that we should have coming to us as it relates to this issue of reparations and ADOS. What was, because a lot of people don't know this, what was, if I'm not mistaken, what was butt breaking or back break? What, break it down.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna say butt breaking, man. Oh man, this is like,
it's difficult, but we have to say this. People need to hear the truth.
Yeah, man, this is difficult, but I gotta say it. Butt breaking, man, was when the slave master was actually, he will literally, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, he would get the most biggest, strongest cock diesel slave, biggest black man that he could find, and they called them the big buck. And what the slave master would do was he will bend him over in front of everybody, literally tie this man up, and will rape him, break his spirit by raping him in front of his wife, in front of his children, in front of his loved ones, in front of everybody, which means breaking him down. I'm talking about bending him over and just raping this man and breaking this man's dignity down to less of a man. That was the buck breaking process.
And see, this is the thing. These are the things that were going on that this is why we have every right to feel the way we do. Another thing, I must say this is to the naysayers who say we can't track our history. If you go to New Orleans, brother, have you been to New Orleans, Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
Where was the place where the drums were first beat in this land as we know it? What's that place called? Congo Square? They used to play the drums. Some of the first drumming on this land. I think it's called Congo Square. If I'm saying it right. Anybody in the chat room, if I'm incorrect, correct me by putting the proper information in the chat room. There's a place in New Orleans. It's called Circle. I think it's Congo Circle, Drum Circle, something of that nature. If I'm saying it wrong, I mean no disrespect. And it was the first place where slaves were allowed to play the drums. Because remember, when the French took over Haiti at one point in time, and they did what they did to colonize what we call New Orleans, they didn't want the slaves playing drums because the drums were scaring the hell out of the Europeans. Okay, they thought they were into they thought they were putting spells on them, right? That's where you get all this, you know, you have the voodoo or hoodoo, all this. Europeans were scared, and they did not want us using the drums. Plus, the drums, if you know your history, were used to send communication from one tribe to another. Okay, just like on the plantation. This is where your fables come from. This is where your when you read stuff about the hare, the rabbit and the hare, and you had spiritual hymns that you sang in church. A lot of your spiritual hymns and a lot of your fables come out of oral tradition when black people on the slave plantation would sing in hymn to tell slaves how to escape, to get up north, what you had to do. And a lot of times the white people would think, oh, these are just happy, darky people who are enjoying being in slavery, singing hymns, and we use the music and the drumming and the dancing. Now, everybody talks about buck dancing. Well, let's talk about where that buck dancing really come from. And the tap dancing comes from, right? They would dance is another way to tell a story as to how to escape. Now, I played a goddamn violin. I got my violin sitting back here. I played a violin, and the violin was what they called them fiddlers. And some of the first violinists were black men who would entertain white folks on the plantation. But the violin was also used as a way to communicate to people as well. Black people have had to always be on code. Now, they could be on code in slavery, but today in America, as we've gotten so relaxed, we have lost our way in operating on code. So I got brother Baba calling in right now. So let me get him on the phone. He's calling me right now. He must be listening to the program.
Is that the elder?
Yeah, the elder's calling me right now. Let me call. I should even bring him on the channel. Let me call him right now, see if he wants to come on with us. He just called me. Let's get him on. I got him on the loudspeaker. Give us a minute, folks. We got the elder who's just called in. Baba himself.
Peace, blessings, and love to all the family.
What's up, elder?
Oh, whoa. He's got a message where he says peace, blessings, and love. And I thought the elder was live, folks. And it's his. So what I'm going to do is send him a link. And brother elder, you must be watching us, which is why you call, because you want more. So I'm going to send you a link and try to call your number again. So let me go right ahead. But brother Bmiles, you heard me what I said. Come on in and elaborate a little bit more. Watch how to get the elder on with us. Okay, go right ahead, brother.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Wow. That was all right. So the point you was trying to make before the elder came, I know you was breaking it. I know you were breaking it down. So where you want me to start back up again? Because I know you was.
Are you familiar with is it Congo Square? Are you familiar with that area in New Orleans where they first played the drums, or they allowed the slaves to play drums? It's a very historical place in New Orleans. Someone in the chat room has probably said it already.
Okay, you pretty much talking about us being on code, right?
Yes, yeah, and being on code, because black people at that time, even though you had your sellouts and you had folks in the house, you still had some black people going through that slavery who were on code as far as helping each other. And I made reference to the dancing, the tap dancing, the music, the drumming, the spiritual hymns, the fables, the oral tradition. Those were used to protect black people. And we have forgotten a lot of people through that slavery.
Hey,
the elders. Wait a minute,
What's up, elder?
We're getting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I want to elaborate on that though, man, because we used to be on code a lot, man, and see, that's still a part of our history as it is today, because we've always communicated with each other. When it came down to the music and stuff like that, we did it through gospel, sing the way that, steal our way to Jesus. What else? We communicated each other, like I'm listening to this song called Strange Fruits. She was communicating a message through the music and stuff like that. We communicated through each other through like R&B and especially hip hop. We were communicating the message back in the day. Look at groups like Poor Righteous Teachers, and look at groups like, Public Enemy. They was out there communicating a message to the people, all the time, talking about, for like revolution, for like revolution and black empowerment and stuff like that. That's a part of our DNA. Yes. That's a part of who we are. We've always been a rhythmatic, expressive people. That's just how we are. We are very spiritual. We're not religious folk. We are spiritual folk. Okay. And we've always communicated through like with each other through like song and dance. That's how all of us over here in the Western Hemisphere are the same people. We all of us express ourselves, in many different ways through song and dance. Look at our Brazilian brothers and sisters. They do the capoeira. That was a way of them fighting. Look at brothers and sisters doing like slavery. We had spiritual hymns. That's a part of who we are. We've always done that. And see what we got to do to get back on code. Excuse me, since you want to talk about music,
okay,
the revolution got to have a soundtrack. And that means that, it's going to take like, quite a few artists to go against the grain to communicate that kind of message back to the people, because they are communicating a very terrible message to our people. And it's because they don't want us to communicate our message on a high frequency to our people to wake them up.
Exactly. The capoeira, the dance that they do and the movements that they do in Brazil is because, like you said, the slaves came over in chains, their legs were chained, so they had to adapt and learn how to fight low to the ground in their movements, the way they would move and what have you. So you're on point with that. Let me bring Brother Elder Baba on, Brother Elder Rashad. Peace, blessings, and love to you, brother. What are your thoughts? You're hearing some of the things that we're saying, brother. You want to contribute to what we're talking about? I'm glad that you're on board with us right now. Let me get your sound bite on here too that I usually use for you. Go right ahead, brother Elder.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. I'm glad to have you with me.
Yeah, I heard y'all were talking about Congo Square. That's true. That's where that in New Orleans.
I was right. Wait a minute, Elder. I thought I was wrong. I thought I was talking silliness. I was right. Damn it. Thank you, Elder. Congo Square.
The Congo Square still exists. They have fair on Sundays. And then you can go down on both kids on drums.
Okay.
Custom making money all over New Orleans. Drums is the big thing in New Orleans because it come from our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all was right about that Congo Square.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, thank you. Congo Square. Thank you very much. I was hoping my brains were working and operating. It's operating tonight. So thank you, Brother Elder. Elder, let me ask you a question. I mean, you've been on this earth. You have seen a lot of changes, ups and downs. What is your thoughts about this ADOS movement? And let me see if this soundbite is working right that I just put on for you. Let's see this there. Let's see this. All right, I got that working. Peace, blessing, and love. Go right ahead, Elder.
I think it's a good thing if everybody just get together and unite with it. But with not only Sons of America, everybody, but like Brother Bmiles was saying, there gonna be a lot of people trying to get it, saying it, this, that, and the other, and all that kind of, but I think it's a great idea. If we all have to come together and unite and demand it.
Yeah. Right.
Demand what belongs to us. Because it belongs to us. They send Israel $2 a goddamn month, a year, whatever. And then people ain't from here. And we went through all kind of bullshit, like you said earlier. Buck breaking, slavery, taking our children, moving them somewhere else, Jim Crow, and the bullshit still going on. It ain't ever changed. Then Donald Trump, he took it out of the doormat. Now it's wide open now. So yeah, we deserve it, but we need unity. Need the majority. We need the majority of the people that go for it. You can't have these goddamn coons like the brother said earlier about, stop talking about this. Stop talking about shit. Because if you forget, they're going to try to put you back in. I ain't going back in no fucking slavery. So, if the Jews getting their money, and they're not even from here.
Right.
Ain't nobody done let to build this country up but us. This country was built off of raw slavery, motherfucking DuPonts and the Kennedys and all them rich white folks got rich off of black people labor. That's how America got rich. Mm-hmm. You can work somebody for 200 years and ain't got to pay them nothing. You go get rich. So we deserve reparations, but the only way you're going to get reparations, you got to get at least 90% of us thinking the same way.
That's right.
Okay, brother, Brother Elder, let me throw this at you. I've been preaching this, and I don't care who listening is tired of me saying this. I think that reparations for black people should be twofold. I believe that black people who lived through the era, who lived through some of the era like yourself, where you had legitimate Jim Crow, you had separate but not equal situations. I think black people who went through that should get a big fat check as well. I think for the future of our children, we should have institutionalized reparations, which includes free college education,
Yeah.
Easier access to housing. No black person in America should pay taxes every year or income tax. That means when you go out and you work, you get all of your money, not no net. You get the whole damn gross, which could be used to do what? Empower us economically, because the country is going to benefit economically, because I hate to say it, black people are the biggest consumer base in America. So we're going to spend that money. But what I'm saying is our kids being able to go to school, us not having to pay taxes, no exemption from military services, easier access to housing. It should be institutionalized systems that we should benefit from, because racism, Jim Crow, all this stuff was institutionalized in American society. Now, 40 acres and a mule, which they said they were going to give us, and then they took it back. I would say, I know there's some that would say we ain't never going to get no land, but I say, give us 40 acres and a mule. And I would say it like this: you have black farmers. The black farmers fought high and hard to get money. I think if you have black farmers, they should be the first ones to get 40 acres and a mule, because why? Yep. They're working in agriculture. So that makes sense to give land to black people who are already in agriculture. Because truth be told, black people, we should actually have the agriculture industry locked up, stock barrel, just like Jewish people have entertainment industry locked up. They got the media locked up. Black people, if we really would have followed the Booker T. Washington philosophy about building businesses, economic growth and development, we should have the agriculture business locked up. And guess what? Everybody's got to eat. And if black folks control agriculture, everybody would have to come to us, because we would be the ones feeding your bellies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What you got?
True, my brother.
I'm just telling. Look. This is about the truth. Okay, it's got to be about the truth always.
Yeah, that's right, and I totally agree. And Information Man Show, right? I heard about something dealing with, I found it to be amazing that now presidential candidates, they're talking about they're talking about reparations. Like one of the candidates talking about she want to give $100 billion in reparations and stuff like that, but it's really in the trillions. But I also believe, it shouldn't just be monetarily. I really believe that, like you were saying, it should be like access to, like, it should be like a lot of access, to like a lot of the things that we should be going, like, housing, college, stuff like that. You feel, what I'm saying? We should not be paying any taxes. And also, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was actually pushing that program on us for a hell of a long time anyway, that we should be doing for self. And they should be taking care of us, for like the next 10, 15 years until we can finally do for ourselves. And I really believe that we are owed that, because how in the hell are you going to have all these other people going to get, reparations, but at the same time, what about us? But at the same time, we have been the very fabric of this nation. It's like America is the chicken, but black people are the seasoning of that chicken, because we have brought so much culture and so much flavor and so much inventions and so much to this. I'm talking about when you look at Black American culture. I'm talking about they stripped us of everything, and we still have the most dominant, prominent culture in the world. Everybody follows our lead. We set the trends. We set the fashion. And every single time, if you notice something, every time it's the first black, so-called black to do something, everybody, it's like every time we break down doors and barriers, everybody else follows our lead. And that is the reason why I say that we should get ours first, because I really believe that, we have been the warriors. We've been on the forefront fighting for ourselves and other groups of people, and they always get propped up before us. And I firmly believe that it is about that time that we should get what's rightfully ours. And I do believe it should be reparations, and it should be monetarily, and it should be dealing with like, taxes and, benefits and stuff like that. It should be a lot. And there's also something that I believe Trump put out called the HR 1242. And I think it's dealing with something like with reparations. I'm not really sure, but I got to look into it. If you look at the HR 1242, A lot of people on my channel been talking to me about this. I'm gonna look it up.
I can break it down to you right now because I did have that information on a video that I did. Let me give a shout out to Frido Knows Best. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I think, hey, where you been too, brother? I had you on my panel a long time ago, and I would like to be able to bring you on panels that I'll have in the future. But we're going to tell the truth right now. Let me just say something. HR 42, which is a bill that was first introduced by John Conyers, and you have Elijah Cummings, who was on there crying about what was happening across the border with folks trying to get into the country here in the West Coast where I'm at. They were involved with this bill, trying to bring it. It's a commission. They created a commission to break down and discuss the reality of reparations. And as you know, when I had on that video that I did earlier, there was one Dr. Claude Anderson who laid out the proper plan how to go about getting reparations through using the same laws, the same stipulations and regulations that the Native Americans went through. Now, there were 17 Native American tribes that sued, and I mean they sued this country, and they got a settlement of about 492 million between 17 tribes. Now, I know that there's a small number because you got Negroes out there that are going to say, well, that was 17 tribes. Black people were in the thousands. First of all, we're 13% of the population in this country. So they say, right? So we're smaller in numbers, right? Now, the Jewish population is pretty much, they got a good population in this country and abroad. They're getting money from Europe. They're getting paid reparations from the United States because, and black people, we're simply saying, oh, pay what's due us. Now you would have people that would say that America would go bankrupt. That's bullshit. America's the richest country in the world. They give foreign aid in the billions of dollars
all the time
to other countries. They give billions of dollars in foreign aid to Israel. They give billions of dollars in foreign aid to European countries. They give all types of aid. They spend money in having war campaigns throughout this country. The military is all over the world because America is an empire, people. Okay? Believe it or not. Okay, so this is another way that black people need to stop making excuses because the United States pays money for what they want.
Exactly.
And if they don't, and if they really wanted to make black people whole, as far as our ancestors are concerned, they could do it. They could do it, like I said, institutionally, if not a big fat check. Okay, so that's where I stand on this issue. And I'm going to keep standing on that issue around that point of view. Brother Elder, you have anything you want to add, or Bmiles, anything you want to add, brother?
I'm gonna let this Bmiles show anyway. I'm just gonna be a spectator.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Elder. Go ahead, Elder.
So it's all good. I'm just listening. I don't have too much to say about it. I'm enjoying by what y'all saying.
Okay, brother Elder, you just stand by. Whenever you want to chime in, brother, you got the floor. You're very beloved here on the Information Man Show, along with brother Bmiles. So, Bmiles, go on, brother. This is a good discussion tonight, very important. And the thing about this discussion is that we're not screaming and yelling at each other. We're talking intelligently, and guess what? You know what we're also doing on this program tonight? We're coming up with solutions. I'm not just on here saying, give us reparations. I've given some concrete examples of what we could be doing to get such reparations.
Right.
Brother Bmiles, go ahead and speak some more. And I'm going to pull up some other information that I'm going to rattle off to folks that are out there listening. So go right ahead. Sure show.
All right. Okay, cool, man. And I'm definitely going to say, as far as like dealing with the reparations, now, when it comes down to it, all right, let's just say like a prime example, we start getting reparations, right? We gonna really have to really be aware and careful of a lot of people that's gonna try to co-opt this thing, because there's gonna be many people. I'm talking about a lot of these immigrants you know, who really don't want to side with us anyway, we got to be mindful because we already know how people want to ride the coattails of our struggle. You know what I'm saying? And I just found it to be, you know, really amazing how they want to be pushing back, talking about, but why do you guys want to be divisive? It's like, no, we don't want to be divisive. We just want to like unite as a people, because you said earlier in the beginning is that, you know, and even like what the elder was saying, you know, as long as we get 90% of our people on our side of this thing, because I do understand a lot of our people, they're not going to be for it, but if we can get 80 to 90% of our people behind this thing, and we go up there and we seriously get behind this thing and we demand it, we can really get it, because like, and we really got to be mindful of those of them who that's not a part of our lineage. You know what I'm saying? That's really not an ADOS. They're going to try to co-opt it, because I'm seeing this pushback from a lot of them, you know, coming from like out of Africa and in the Caribbean and Latin America, because I actually like had to like school some of them. You know what I mean? Saying that we don't have nothing against y'all. It is us up here. We just want to identify ourselves as a tribe up here. That does not mean that the rest of y'all cannot reap the benefits. But what we're saying is we talking about to those of us up here in the in the northern hemisphere, in the hells of America, we have not properly got our just due. It's like everybody has always gotten better treatment from civil rights. I'm talking about we've been fighting for civil rights. We've been fighting for this, fighting for that, man. And instead of us going for civil rights, we need to be going for human rights, because all the things of what we've been going through are human travesties, and these things, and this thing cannot be ignored. So what I'm saying is, like, if we can get a lot of our people behind this thing, and we keep our foots on their neck, and we keep pushing it. And also too, brother, what you did earlier was great. You literally was coming up with the agenda right there, coming up with solutions. So us as a people, 90% of our people, we gotta like get behind this thing, and we gotta come up with solutions, and this thing gotta be written down, because we gotta let these people know how serious we are, especially by us being united.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I'm 100% with you on that, brother Bmiles. Let me just say this too. I'm going to repeat this again. What's unique about this show tonight is that we are talking about a little bit. We're talking history. We're talking motivation in terms of what we need to do as a people, but we're also giving solutions as to how would you get reparations, because there are going to be some out there that'll say it'll never happen. Now, this is what I have to say. The Native Americans got their settlement from this in 2016, 2017 from the Obama administration. Okay? Obama administration. Why? Because they stayed steady on the course and they sued the system. Why couldn't black people stay steady on the course and keep filing lawsuits against the system? Why couldn't we do that? That's a possibility. Like I said, John Conyers, Elijah Cumming, they've been trying to get this off the ground. This country does not want to discuss this in committee. Now, that I know for a fact, because Elijah Cummings said that on a radio show I was listening to. And that's because we're not giving them enough pushback. We're not making our voices heard, because we're willing to listen to Negroes telling us, you ain't going to get this. You notice, this is what I noticed, brother Bmiles. I notice that every time black people have a bold thought, a bold idea, even in your own family, if you are a black person, woman and man, and you say you want to go to school, you want to change something in your life, you want to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to transform yourself, there's always someone in your family, there's always some woolly mouth Negro telling you why you can't get such success. There's always black folks talking like that. Now, check this out. If those black folks that were in slavery, that were sharecropping, that were in Jim Crow, that were being oppressed, were listening to other black folks say, we ain't never going to be out of slavery. We ain't never going to be free. We ain't never. If they had to listen to those black folks, if Dr. King had to listen to those black folks, if Malcolm X had to listen to those black folks, told him not to go out there and do what he did, change his life. If Shirley Chisholm didn't do what she do by trying to run for president and listen to Negroes telling her not to run, okay? If IDB Wells didn't do what she did, if Harriet Tubman didn't go out there and say, I'm going to free black folks, and she had to listen to the naysayers, where would black people be today? Oh, where would we be today? I can tell you where we would be. We would be talking about Master Shiley. You need your shoes shine today? I'm shining for you. You need me to do a dance for you?
Oh yeah.
I'll buck dance for you. I'll do a dance for you. I'll buck dance. Oh, Master, you need me to ride that? Oh, Miss Daisy, you need me to drive that car for you, Miss Daisy? We would still be in shackle slavery today, and we would still be talking about, thank you, Master Charlie, for the cornbread that you've given me. And that's where black people would be today if we listen to mealy-mouthed Negroes. So I say, any black person that tells you that we can't do this and we can't do that is a defeatist attitude and is a mealy-mouthed Negro. Stay away from them. They're not in your best interest because they're not bold enough to have a belief in something for the future for their children. You have to have a belief to be able to drive yourself.
Yep.
Okay? All right. Brother Bmiles, you gonna take it from there, brother, and add anything?
Yeah, man. It's because some people, man, they have been defeated for so long, man. It's to the point where a lot of our people, man, they are just so afraid to, like, you know what I mean? The slave master has put so much fear in our people, my brother, to the point where our people walk around here with this victim mindset and also with this defeated attitude. You know, it has really been ingrained. I'm telling you, man, like, it has really been ingrained in our people, man, that we are never going to be successful. It's because if you look at the psychological programming, man, I'm talking about, like, if you continuously keep on seeing the negative imagery, if our people keep on seeing, you know what I mean, you know, people telling them that they're not going to be good, you know, that they're not going to be this, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually after a while, these people are really going to believe it. That's part of the reason why a lot of our people, they are so ashamed to do great things, because they have seen what happened to a lot of brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, that really wanted to make a change, like the Harriet Tubmans of the world, the ADOS Wells, you know, Prophet Noble Jew Ali, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Dr. King, John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Jockin, and Ivy Van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop, and Shaka Mushabara Shingo. You know what I'm saying, Minister Farrakhan, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Clarence 13X, Dr. Malachi York, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Phil Valentine, Delbert Blair, you know what I mean? I'm talking about our people, man. Those were some of the brightest minds of our people who literally smashed the defeative attitude, who came through who came through the womb, you know what I mean, of our people. And so they came on the paradigm to shift that kind of paradigm, that our people, we don't got to walk around here being the victim, or we don't got to have that defeatist attitude, because a lot of our people, man, I see it on a daily basis, man, that a lot of our people, they don't want to seek any knowledge. They don't want to read. They don't want to research. They don't want to know anything about their history, because they have been psychologically programmed, you know what I'm saying, by the tell lies vision in other people that, you know what I mean, that you came from nothing, that you nothing but a slave, you're nothing but a savage. And that's one of the reasons why people cannot get anywhere, because as long as you can continuously keep seeing yourself in a negative light, it's long, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why we can't get anywhere, because our people, man, a lot of our people are comfortable in the slavery. A lot of our people, man, they just want a better seat at the slave master's table. They comfortable in this bullshit. A lot of our people really don't want freedom. They are comfortable in this bullshit.
Okay, Brother Bmiles, now we're going to go into some controversial area of the program tonight, brother. You said it. I believe that black people who say that we can't get this and we can't do that are afraid. And I'm going to tell you why. I think in some ways, some black people, they would like to get along with the system as long as they can be comfortable and get what they can out of the system. So that means what? If I can have a job, send my kids to school, if I can go see a movie, watch Netflix, watch a sporting event, if I can simply live and exist and not worry about, being harassed, if I can just be comfortable, then I'm okay with white people being in charge. I'm okay with the system as long as I, as an individual, am comfortable. And I think that a lot of times when we talk about wanting freedom and justice, I almost feel like sometimes we just want to be accepted by Europeans. And that if we're accepted by the mayonnaise man, that everything is okay. And one of the things that I believe that has hurt black people with dealing with the mayonnaise man is that we've been trying to make the mayonnaise man love us, which is why black people fought in World War I, black men fought in World War II, because if you look at the history, black men joined the military during the time when they didn't want us in the military because they wanted to prove that we were patriotic, that we loved the country. And we thought that by fighting in the wars, that somehow the mayonnaise man would love us and cuddle us to say, I love my Negroes. Okay. Right. Which is why when Donald Trump during his campaign said, where is my African American? There is my African American, right? Right. The mayonnaise man has always seen black people as possessions. Something that's almost like, let me see this toy I got here. I got this Godzilla toy. I love Godzilla. Growing up as a kid, I always loved Godzilla. So see, I got Godzilla in my hand, folks, right? I'm possessing a Godzilla toy. And I can play around with Godzilla's hand. I can play around with his tail. I can pop Godzilla on the head. Come on, Godzilla, right? This is how the mayonnaise man treats black men. This is a metaphor, folks. They treat us, black men and black women as well, they treat us as toys in their hands to be played with and to be played with, okay? And some of our people don't mind being toyed with and played with like this if it means that they can be treated special. Thus forth, you have the house Negro and the field Negro, as Malcolm X spoke of. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, man, that's real, man. That's a lot. Yeah, man, that's a lot of them. They really are, man. A lot of our people, they want to be a lot of our people, man, they want to be so accepted by the Europeans so bad, man, because a lot of our people, they look at him as God. And that's really been ingrained into our brain because, I mean, look what the slave master has done to our people ever since slavery. They literally painted, Jesus that looked like them. So psychologically, our people, they look at them, they look at the white man as God. And they really, a lot of our people, they are so inferior to the point where that they hate themselves so much that they will go to the craziest lengths to be accepted by these people. And I gotta say it, 2/3 of our people, they want to be accepted. They want to go along to get along. And at the same time, the universe and the ancestors are letting us know right now, as we speak, it's time to let go of these people. And it is about that time, my people, man. We gotta really, we really gonna have to fight for our freedom. Because the slave master, he's not going to give this thing up easily. And for us to keep on going around here trying to be going along to get along with the same damn devils who's been killing us ever since 1492, and it doesn't make any damn sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense to walk around here, deal with the same damn people who does not love you. And I do not know what it is about our people when they come down to white folks. I do not understand it.
You have to understand. Go ahead, Bmiles. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm gonna add to that. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just so sad that our people have come down to the level where they just want to go along to get along, and they rather have comfortable slavery than uncomfortable freedom.
There's the physical shackles of slavery, and then there's the mental shackles. I think
Absolutely.
we're suffering from mental shackles. Let me
Yep.
let me say this. Let me read it. Brother Epic said this. He said, Epic said this. Black people do want to get along with everyone when we just want to be able to lay out our destiny like everybody else, not to be discriminated against. Okay. We got 50 Franks. Look at Billy D. Williams, Quincy Jones, and all these Negroes who bleached their families. Then we got sister Tone, who says Carly B married to a black man. All these mixed breed. And then we got let me see, just got a lot of folks in the chat room that are buzzing about this issue. But let me just say this to you, brother Bmiles. Look, I think sometimes we suffer from wanting to have the status right now. What do I mean by that? I think we have to think about the future. Some of us may not be the beneficiaries of reparations. I may not get it. You may not be benefiting from it, but our children and our future should benefit from it. That's why I think institutionalized reparations are important. So we have to think long term, not short term.
Right.
So if we just sit up here and say, well, it ain't never going to happen, then guess what? You're never going to happen, because I'm going to keep saying this again. Power conceives nothing without a demand. If black people do not demand what is due to us, it's not begging, it's not asking for a handout, it's demanding what is due to us. If we do not do that, then guess what? Remember on that Charlie Brown episode? I think it was Halloween, and he kept going around to the doors, and he kept getting nothing in his bag but rocks. Well, black people, if we do not demand, then guess what we're gonna get in our bag like Charlie Brown? We're gonna get rocks, nothing. We're gonna get zilch, because closed mouth does not get fed, and that's why the gay community, Latinos, that's why other groups can come here and get what they want, because they will conceive a demand. They will demand, and they will conceive it in reality. While black people in general, we do not demand. We simply accept, and we want to compromise and feel comfortable. Just okay. And that's our problem. Remember, do you remember Superfly, the Superfly movie, the original Superfly with Ron O'Neal? There was a scene in the movie when Ron O'Neal as Superfly wanted to get out of the hustling game. And his partner said to him, Negro, what do you mean you want to quit the business? What are you talking about? Look at what we got, Negro. We got color TV, we got cars, we got all of this, right? He was comfortable. But Ron O'Neal's character is Superfly. He was not comfortable. He wanted out of that lifestyle because he knew it was a detriment. He was thinking future, not present.
Right.
So these are some of the things we're going to have to deal with as a people, man. We're going to have to get on it. Brother Elder, you've been sitting back listening. You got anything you want to add? You heard a lot that we've said.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on that these brothers and sisters that say we ain't gonna get nothing, hell with them. And if we do get something, they'll be the first motherfuckers in line. Trying to cook up. They'll be the first one in line. And just like brother information man said, we got to demand. man to get what you want, because they ain't gonna give you nothing. You just, accepting what they gonna give you, because they owe it to us.
No, you.
So our people went through so much hell. Our ancestors, our people that went through Jim Crow, and a lot of white folks just thought it was this slavery. It wasn't no slavery. It was raping our men, women, and children. It was separating our men, women, and children at those auctions. And it was all lynching, church bombings, psychological bullshit that they put on our minds. I mean, they owe it to us, but we got to demand it as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me go right ahead, Elder. Go right ahead.
No, go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up. Somebody brought something up about Jesse Smollett and his nonsense. I want to get your opinion since I have y'all on here. I want to get your opinions about Messy Jesse, because individuals like Messy Jesse, they make it hard for black people when we're talking about things that's happened to us. So this Negro's talking about he had a noose on his neck that he kept on his neck the whole time. Strange. This Negro is trying to play both. He's trying to serve both gods. He wants to serve the LGBTQ. He wants to serve black. He think he's serving black people. He wants to be an entertainer. He wants he wants more money, whatever the hell he wants, right? But let's talk about how does a Negro like Messy Jesse set back the legitimate concerns when it comes to black people who have been harassed racially in this country till today. How does Messy Jesse just screw all this up?
He fucked up big time. And the reason why I'm saying the reason why I say fucked up big time, because it's like, yo, bro, now you really made it hard for us to prove that a hate crime is real. And mind you, this motherfucker did it during Black History Month of all months. This happened in Black History Month of all months, and it's already bad enough. A lot of people do not believe when racism or hate crime is happening towards us. This man literally sets us back over 100 years, to the point where if a hate crime really does happen against us, many people in the media, they already know, they already tell us that we always want to play the victim. But see, let's just say if we really are victimized, or one of our own, or one of our babies, or one of our children, or somebody that we know, one of our loved ones, get actually hit with a hate crime, it is really going to be hard to prove it. Why? Because you literally shamed yourself in black people around the United States and around the world to even prove the hate crime is real. So guess what? That means that the hate crime is about to go up even more.
Now, listen to this soundbite that I took from Messy Jesse. I was thinking about doing a video, but I said, you know what? The Negro, it is what it is. But he's the one here talking about if it's the truth, then it must be the truth. If I'm telling the truth, it must be the truth. And this Negro is setting us back. Listen to this buck dancer, as I would call him right now.
It's a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, it's true. Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth. And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You're listening.
Okay, basically, as you heard him on there saying, tell the truth, this is the type of stuff that sets us back. It can impact us when black people are being hurt in this society legitimately. And it also indirectly, I think, affects the ADOS. And I'll tell you why, because how can you, when you have black people like Messy Jesse going around making up stuff,
right?
How it is in this country, it's not like other groups. For example, if a white man is caught lying and doing mass shooting, as many white men have done in this country, guess what? White men are not being profiled. When Timothy McVeigh got involved with the Oklahoma bombing over there, and I know he didn't do it all by himself, there were others like him. You didn't have this country saying, let's profile all white men with crew cuts. Let's profile all white men that are middle-aged who go out and buy guns, right? Semi-automatic weapons, right? They don't profile them when they're lying. But anytime a black person is caught in a major lie on a global scale like this, then it looks bad on the whole race. And I hate to say that, but that's been our historical reality, which is why most black people, you got to be honest, when something happens, you always say to yourself when you're at home, oh my God, I just hope that it ain't a black person that did it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not a black person. And sure enough, when it's a Negro, it really puts a stigma on our community as a whole, because this society labels us as criminals.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Because Messy Jesse has contributed to setting us back in many ways. Go right ahead, brothers.
Yeah, man, because it's already bad enough, man, in the media that, we always paint it as something negative. And for, when it come down to like Jesse, man, it's just, he really sets us back, because now people really going to be saying that we really playing the victim. People are not going to believe anything that's coming out of our mouth. Why? Because you got this brother on the grand scheme. You got this brother who's an entertainer, who is known around the world. And this man literally set up a fake hate crime. So now the whole entire world is really looking at us as a laughing stock, because like if something else happens, people gonna be looking like, man, I don't believe you. Why? Because look at what Jussie Smollett did, and we can be a victim of a serious hate crime. To the point where one of our people can be lynched, and that is a hate crime, and they will turn around and say, well, he lynched himself. Well, that's a joke. People not going to believe us. So it's going to really, he has really made it hard for us 100 times worse. He has set us back all the way back to the days of Jim Crow, to the point where the Casual Killing Act is going to be in full effect once again.
Okay, let me getting back into the topic. Messy Jesse was a side topic to this issue, but let me ask you to get how should black people going forward from the grassroots level to the political level? Because I believe some people would say, well, we shouldn't focus on reparations and ADOS. Black people should just focus on the here and now in terms of, going to school, creating businesses, networking with each other, what have you. And my argument is that I believe black people are multi-dimensional. I think we can ride a bike, we can chew gum, dribble a basketball, drink a drink, relax, watch TV at the same time. You know why? We've been doing that for years and years. I think that we can, while we fight in corporate America, while we fight to get that education and do the things in the community that we do, at the same time we're focusing on that, we can still put up a battle for ADOS as it relates to reparations. We can do both. Other groups do it. Brother. So, in your opinion, what are some of the things that black people should involve themselves in? Should we join organizations? And what should we do? What should we do? Because we're about solutions here.
Elder, I'm gonna let you chime in, Elder.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think that black people as a whole, while we're doing other things in our life, because I think we can be multidimensional, what do you think we need to do on the ground level and political level to keep this fight for reparations under the ADOS banner alive until we can see it to fruition in the future? Because it's going to take a long time, but we got to fight. Go right ahead.
Yeah, we just have to fight and keep promoting it, keep demanding it.
Okay.
That's the three things we got to do: demand, keep fighting. On the political ladder, and get these politicians especially these black politicians, try to get some of these Uncle Tom ass preachers to open their mouth too. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say something controversial tonight that people may not like. I'm not saying that there's not been some great preachers out there. One of my favorite preachers is Nat Turner. And I bet y'all thought I was going to say, what's that guy over there? Thought I was going to say Creflo Dollar. I bet some of y'all thought I was going to say, what's that other preacher out there who's got a big church in Texas? TJ Jakes. No, y'all thought I was going to say those type of pork chop eating Negroes. No, or that G Bernard from and Brother Boom Boom, an activist in Baltimore, told G Bernard to get the hell out of the community when he was sitting up there showing up in Baltimore, because he's out of Baltimore, and he was going into a community so he can try to like get some shine. And you had Brother Boom Boom out there in Baltimore where you are at, Brother Bmiles, who confronted Brother G Bernard. It was on YouTube, and told him that the streets don't want him in Baltimore. The people don't want him. Get the hell out of our community. And you thought I was going to say a Negro like that. No. I said Nat Turner, because Nat Turner did what? He did what? He created slave revolts. He went after the master, so-called master. He pillaged. He got a group of other black folks of our ancestors to fight. So that's why Nat Turner is my favorite preacher. Okay? Yeah. But outside of Nat Turner, I believe that, and Dr. King did great things for us. I'll give him some credit, and those that were about that life. But for the most part, I believe that preachers may be one of the worst things that have happened to black people. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I know what I just said might be explosive to some. What do y'all think about what I just said, Brother Elder, Brother Bmiles?
Well, I'm gonna address that, but I want to get off coast, go back to Mr. Jesse.
Yes, go right ahead.
It was orchestrated by them white folks to set us back. They paid that to do that. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. I believe they paid him to do some dumb shit like that, where they can, like Brother Bmiles say, where they can just upgrade and start doing evil shit to us, and we can't prove nothing. They paid that nigga to do that.
Yep. They come to find out. I've been hearing a couple of things saying, that the Democratic Party has something to do with that bullshit. You feel me? And if you look at it, man, like, it really makes a lot of sense. They paid his ass to do that. You know what I mean? Because when you really put two and two together, man, it's like, who in the fuck is out there in Chicago, 3 a.m. in freezing temperatures, and going to do something like that? You're going to do something like that, though, bro. And like I said, man, it's already bad enough, man. Like, racial tensions under Donald Trump is really, really high right about now. So now you're going to be pissing off, I'm saying, a lot of people who do not look like us. A lot of them, I'm talking about, you already had this goddamn white guy on the Coast Guard, I'm saying, who already wanted to start a race war. And now this fake hate crime has actually been done. So it's like, we don't know how these people are going to react and respond now. I mean, it's already bad enough, like, they really showing their racism openly and blatantly. So now we got to really ask ourselves the question, man, like, what is going to happen next? Because, I mean, they literally are just coming out with it, man. Like, they are full outright with their racism. And so just imagine if something really bad happens to one of us and we cannot prove it. Because a couple of brothers and sisters, they have been lynched last year. And none of our people's gotten justice. So just imagine if a hate crime really happens, it's going to be hard to prove, because they're going to go back to that Jussie Smollett case and say, that was a crime hoax. And it's already bad enough, man, that the media, they always paints us in the negative light. So they definitely not going to believe us. It doesn't work in our favor.
No, it does not work in our favor. And it does hurt us in legitimate situations. I had a chance, if you all know, I had a chance to interview Melissa McKinnis, who was the Danye Jones. She's the mother of Danye Jones, who was they found him in the yard hanging, and there was a blue chair that was way, way far away from him. And the police department down there in the community, they have been harassing this sister and her family. They got to move out of their house. Uh, Brother Maurice Muhammad had asked me, along with Gav Talk Media, shout out to those brothers, to interview her. And she's been on Prophet of Thought series channel, and she's been on Maurice Muhammad channel, and they are not giving her any justice. The coroner's department was taking forever to give her a proper coroner's report, and she does not believe that her son committed suicide because she said he had a lot to live for, and he did not believe in suicide. Yeah, he was involved in real estate, and he was a young brother, and so we're not getting. So when you have a family like this who has a legitimate incident trying to get justice for their son, and they can't, and you got Negroes like Messy Jesse making up lies. How do you think that impacts other black people like this, like Sister Melissa and her family, trying to get justice for Danielle Jones and many other black folks out there who have had their children, their kids killed? What do you think?
It impacts us really bad, man, because that's a prime example. It's already bad enough when they find this like that. They always want to turn around and say, twist the narrative and say, "Oh, he committed suicide." So what it does, man, it lowers the legitimacy a whole lot because now that this fake hate crime has been taking place, if they really do something like that, our legitimacy to prove it, our credibility is down low because of people like Justice Smollett who actually staged the fake hate crime. It really impacts us, man, like to the point where like no one is going to believe us. Like I'm talking about no type of justice is going to be handed towards us. And it really puts us in a bad situation, man, where this stuff can happen more often. And like it can get very ugly.
Well,
it puts us in a tough spot.
Let me just say to everybody out there that's listening, if you do believe in the ADOS and what that stands for, do what you can to support the movement. Join an organization. Those of you that are content creators out there, do a live stream about it. Express yourself and how you feel about this. Get involved with putting pressure on this Do Nothing Black Caucus up there. Put pressure on Elijah Cummings, all these black folks up there in that United States government, as we call whatever we call it. Put pressure on these Negroes, because that's another thing that bothers me, Brother Bmiles. We've got black folks that have been in government, in the Congress for 30 years, 40 years, for years. And I believe that you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And so far, currently, they're not bearing any fruit for us so far. Okay. Now I know John Conyers and Elijah Cummings tried to get this HR 40 off the ground. I respect them for that, but they got to keep up the fight. But we got to have, we tend to vote for a lot of these black politicians, but you got to ask yourself, what do you get for voting for black politicians? What tangibles are you getting? Because I'm one of the only people that has made content on YouTube about Kamala Harris, who actually lived in San Francisco for years, who I have actually met her and talked to her up close and personal when she ran for district attorney of San Francisco, and she lied and told us that she was going to deal with the juvenile system and how it's so backwards and corrupt. And she did absolutely nothing. If anything, she reinforced policies that impacted black men. She was against police officers having webcams on them. And who's been impacted by police officers killing black folks? More than it's been black folks who have been impacted by police officers who are killing us. And she was against that. There's a brother that was in San Quentin in prison, I believe on death row or something of that nature. I talked about him. and he had a chance to get out of prison. He had a 70-year sentence, and her office did nothing when it came out that the evidence showed that he was innocent. Her office had a lab technician who screwed up all the evidence, all the stuff that could have let a lot of people out of prison over, I think it was 600 cases. And her office did nothing. She only spoke up against things that were happening when she took criticism from the media. So here you have someone saying that she's for the people, that she's for all people, but yet she doesn't do anything for Black people who she's now currently going around social media, around the media, pandering to us, talking about she smoked weed, talking about that's a Jamaican thing. And her own father has now come out and he has done what? He has shunned her, denied her, wants nothing to do with her, okay? So she's going around doing the hot sauce and getting on that messy mess called the Breakfast Disaster Club, getting on there, and they never deal with real issues on that show from a real serious level, in my opinion, as they did not do what they should have done as it related to dealing with her butt. And so this is what we need to do as people who say we're behind the ADOS. We need to put pressure on these politicians. Stop voting for the Democratic Party. Stop giving up all our vote. The Republican Party is messy as well. Haven't done a lot for us, if at all. But we definitely have to hold the Democratic Party and these politicians accountable. And what better way to hold them accountable than to make them hold their feet to the fire and say, we want you. No, we don't want you. We demand that you support the ADOS movement. Mr. Black politician, if you want to keep getting in office, you're going to need our vote. Oh, yeah, that's damn right.
Yep, that's exactly how it's got to be. We got to really, like I said, we got to really put our foots on their neck, and we really got to go in there and demand. But one of the main things we have to do is we have to be organized. We got to be organized as a people, man. We got to start from the grassroots level all the way to like the local level. Then that's when it go all the way to like, all the way up to the federal level. Then, that means, man, that we got to be pushing for this thing, and we have to understand it's not going to be easy. But as long as our people are organized, and that's one of the reasons why I support the ADOS movement, because it's showing that our people are getting on code and getting organized, which means we got to have meetings about this, which means we got to have talks like this, which means that, which means that we got to, talk at our local community centers about this thing and about this movement, man, because from what I'm seeing, it's really picking up a lot of momentum right now, and the momentum is getting crazy and crazier. So the main thing we have to do as the people is organize. We have to be united first, because we can talk about all of these things and solutions, but the main course and thing, we have to be organized, because if we not organized, then our efforts are going to be, that goes right along with what the elder was saying. If 90% of us get on code, we can really affect and make change, because once they see that we are organized like everybody else is, instead of us all separated, then they really going to take us seriously.
Okay, let me give some shout outs to a few folks out there who have super chatted me. We got my man, he's my brother. I love him. And I've been realizing, Bmiles, that I haven't been turning my notifications on my phone. That causes my computer to tell me when people are doing live streams, brother. And I'm missing people live streams that I like to follow. So I'm gonna do a better job of making sure that I'm following people's live streams that I support. But brother, food, clothing, media, and shelter. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I love you. I love the way you do your green screen technology and the issues that you talk about, brother. You know what? I've got to do a show where I can get you on with brother Logic. That's his name, but he goes by food, clothing, and media and shelter. Everybody, make sure that you go over to food, clothing, media, and shelter and support this brother's channel. He goes by the name also Logic. This brother is logical. He looks at things Very logical and breaks it down. So go over there and give his channel some love. And somebody else gave me a super chat. Let me say discussion with Diana. Thank you for being here. Brother Ben, thank you for being here. There's another brother that gave me a super chat. I can't make out his name. I'm pretty bad with names. We got Chief Odo. If I'm saying your name wrong, brother, I'm sorry. He gave me a $10 super chat. Let me say peace to him in the chat room. I probably would have to talk to him live to get the proper pronunciation of the name. I'm bad with names, but peace to you, brother. And thank you. Okay, peace to you, brother. Thank you. Brother Bmiles, how much more time do you have, brother? I know it's getting late back there where you are in the East Coast, Baltimore, Maryland. And how much time do you have? Because I don't want to take up all your time. You know, we can put a crescendo on this whenever you're ready. And I know folks that are on here, they want to check out all the other hot streams tonight, along with our stream tonight. So where you are with time at, brother?
Yeah, give me about like 15 more minutes. Yeah, it's starting to get late.
Okay, is there anything, because I've been running my mouth here, is there anything that you want to bring up and talk about that's on your mind? Go right ahead.
Well, I just mainly want to say about the whole ADOS movement, man. I just think it's a great thing. And what we are trying, and I'm gonna say to the all the black immigrants that are out there, man, like they gotta understand. They gotta understand about our movement is this though, man. We are not anti-black immigrant. We are only against those of them who don't want to recognize and identify that we are the same people, because like we are their brothers and sisters. And if they don't want to align themselves with us, we don't want to align ourselves with them. And that is exactly how we are. That's exactly how we are going about this movement. It's either you're going to be with us or against us. That is exactly how we roll it, because I'm going to say this. My motherfucking line right about now is drawn in the sand. My line right about now is drawn in the sand. And my thing is, if they have a problem of what we're doing, because to me, it doesn't make any daggone sense that you're going to come up here and be tribalistic against us, but yet you want to work against the own people who helped you benefit. Nobody says anything when they're waving the Puerto Rican flag, the Dominican flag, the Jamaican flag, the Haitian flag, the Trinidadian flag. Nobody says nothing about it when it comes to them identifying with their tribe, and that's Caribbean people. And like I said, I have a lot of love for them, but I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? But what we're saying is, or the rest of y'all throughout the diaspora can benefit. But what we're saying, we want to make sure that we're going to get our pie first. We got to get a piece of the pie, because we are the very fabric and the foundation of this nation. And that's exactly what we are fighting for. Mm-hmm. Because like, to me, after what we they always want to be saying that we anti-black immigrant. No, we're not. We pointed out the hypocrisies and the bullshit that a lot of these black immigrants have been doing. Because how in the hell are you going to reap the rewards and the benefits of someone else's culture, then turn around and say that we are lazy? That's bullshit. We are not a lazy people. We are far from a lazy people. We're not a lazy people individually. We're just a lazy people collectively. And what I say to that is, man, you know, once we learn is specifically in North America, once we come together as a tribe, we can be powerful. Then that right there can like transfer onto the rest of the people throughout the Caribbean and also South America with our Afro-Caribbean, our Afro-Latino brothers and sisters. You know, that's what I say about that. But we got to get ours first, that everybody else going to get theirs. That's what we fighting for. And they have to recognize and identify with that.
Mm-hmm. Let me just say this. Let me say something. Brother Elder, you have anything else you want to add, brother?
No, I'm good. I'm going to let y'all listen at the live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brother Elder, let me just tell you something right now. I really appreciate you coming on board. I saw that you tried to call me, and I got food because I called you back, and you said peace, blessing, and love, and I thought it was you, right? And then it went to your answering service. So I knew you were trying to get on. You were watching us, and that's why I sent you the link. And I'm glad to have you on with your wisdom and your knowledge. And I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. Anything else you want to add, Brother Bmiles, before we do put a crescendo on this, what I would call a truthful night?
Oh man, that's pretty much it for right now. I pretty much put it in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, let me just say this, Brother Bmiles, we'll have to do this again. I'm going to play a soundbite that I played on my first video as it relates to ADOS. It was Brother BGS, Getmore. Brother BGS was on his channel, and he was talking about this whole issue of ADOS. Now, before we end the night, I'm going to play this soundbite. It's about 4 minutes. Everybody needs to hear this again, because I thought what those brothers were saying was straight on point. So let me play this soundbite again for everybody. I thought it was on point. So here we go.
I'm not disrespectful to you. My problem, one of the questions I have is one of my mind is like, a lot of times you see here in America, I'm not, I'm just born here. Okay, and what I'm seeing is that there's this frustration, and it builds up, and then it explodes. And one of the things that I'm seeing with this ADOS is that it's really because of that. Because what you have people, okay, everybody here can discuss the subject and agree or disagree. But on the street, when people start discussing things, guns start coming out. Let me ask you something, D.
I'll defer to the elder first, and then if I need to, I'll address what you.
Okay. And let me ask you a question, D. Now, when the immigrants come in, where they come? They come to the white neighborhoods and black neighborhoods. Black neighborhoods. I mean, all immigrants, no matter what color they are, right? Yes. Other than riots, which all bets are off, have black people ever burned down a store? Oh yeah, they burned down stores other than riots. No. Have they ever stabbed, attacked a whole group of people that are actually doing business, not even living, but doing business in their neighborhoods? No. Have they failed to support those businesses in their neighborhoods? No. So if we haven't done that to people that don't look like us, don't even talk our language, you have nothing in common with us, right? Even though we have vast disagreements with them, right? Right. Why would we do that to black folks that look like us? Where do you get that from? No. Where in Black America's history have we done that? We have never done it before. But in the situation that we have now, where the argument is still against, say, the Caucasian who is over and down. It's between. No, it's not. No, it's not. Basically, ADOS is toward our white superiors. Okay. Well, that's my misunderstanding. Okay. We have basically expressed it. In other words, we're saying that before you give anybody else, immigrants, people that are non descendants of slaves, you have to address us. That we fought for, that you were supposed to make whole and correct for the damage that you have done. In other words, us first. Thank you. That's all it is.
Yes, like DE, and this is no shade to you. I'm actually glad that you brought up what you brought up, because in my mind, it really speaks not so much to our motivations, but to the ideas about what and who we are in the minds of our Black immigrant brothers and sisters. I think it's telling that in this moment that you see the uplift, you see us taking the reins and control of our narrative, fighting and standing on our interests, questioning those who have previously just simply been given a pass to act in whatever fashion they wanted to toward us. I think it's telling that you're seeing a level of fear coming from Black immigrants that Black people usually only see coming from our white.
No. It's deeper than that, Mark. You know why they're saying this? Because if the situation was reversed in their country, guess what they would do to us? Oh, because that's an uncomfortable, real ice cold truth that BGS is speaking on right now. If we was in other places, let's say Zimbabwe or Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, right? Because in Ghana, if you're an American, if you look just like them, that's what they call you. They call you a white man. All I have to do is open my mouth, and I'm classified as a white man, regardless of how much love I have for the place, regardless of what's in my heart when I go there, any of that. I'm automatically judged to be aligned with our so-called collective oppressor.
So there it is.
Tell the truth.
Brother Bmiles, as we get ready to put a crescendo on tonight, and I'm glad that you were here with me, along with the elder who gave us a surprise visit tonight. What are your thoughts about with what you heard from on the BGS's show? He does 8-hour streams over there, and the brothers, they break things down, they analyze things, they assess. From what you heard, what are your thoughts?
Wow, that was very interesting. Wow, that was like very, very interesting. And one of the guys, he was absolutely right, man. Like a lot of times, these black immigrants, you know, they have a tendency to only like align themselves, you know, with us when it's convenient for them. And I totally get, yeah, man, I totally agree, man. When it comes down to it, I don't mind them getting benefits as well, but to me, I really feel as though the people that should benefit first is us. And that is, you know what I'm saying, Black Americans. You feel me? I feel as though like I really feel as though like one of the guys, what he was saying, he was absolutely right, man. It needs to be going to us because, you know, many black immigrants, they have rolled the coattails, you know what I'm saying, of our struggle. Like a prime example, let's just say like if black Americans move to Africa and let's just say they give us much more better benefits than the people that's over there. I'm quite sure they would feel some sort of kind of rift. Why? Because we're not from that country. And to me, it doesn't make any sense that we over here in this country, born and raised in this country under this hell, and other immigrants who look like us, many cases, they are often told to not even deal with us and don't want to deal with us. But now that we are coming together on code, now they want to say that we're tribalistic. Why? Because they know that the minute that we do that and they cannot benefit from that, they already know the minute that we get organized and we leave them alone, that's the minute that they can no longer benefit off of that. So I totally agree with one of those callers, you know, one of the guys that was on that video, because I'm tired of that happening. Other immigrants come over here and reap, you know what I'm saying, reap off of our struggle, and then turn around and call us lazy. I agree with that.
Let me just say this. We have my man Fly Seas the Black Indian. Now let me just break this down. I'm going to say this for everybody to hear. This is very clear. I want to make myself very clear here. We know historically that the Cherokee Indian tribe had their involvement as bounty hunters in trying to capture black people who are running from slave plantations. And we know not only with the Cherokee tribe nation, but you had other nations that also worked against us as well. However, you do have black people who have Cherokee heritage. I believe that they are entitled to this ADS as well because they are black people in America who have Native American heritage, and I'm going to tell you why. I have family members or that are what you call freemen. Do you know, brother, that you have black people who are part Native American who can't even get benefits from Native American tribes because they are being racial towards them and trying to cut them out of getting some of that gaming money that some of them are getting. So you have freemen, are people who are ancestors of freemen like myself, and my mother, who has to go through hoops and jump through all kinds of hoops trying to get recognized as a legitimate of Native American heritage as well. So even Black people who have Native American heritage are catching a hell and racism, are catching a prejudice from Native American tribes who have lawyers who are fighting the freemen. That's what's going on. So I do include our Native brothers and sisters, and those of you who say that you are an Aborigine, that you are not a connected to the slavery. You didn't come here from Africa as a slave, but you were already here. Brother, you are also entitled to some benefits because you caught hell with us over here as well as a Black person. Because let's just be honest. When police officers and the system starts to mess with us, they don't care if you were African American or Black person that was in the slaves, or you a Native. They're going to look at you as a Negro. We know that even African people come over here and they can be treated just like us because they are seen as Black, right? Well, but one of the things that bothers me is that sometimes when our brothers and sisters come over here from the other parts of the world, they segregate themselves away from us and they say, I'm going to be over here. Those Negroes are over there. Okay. I had a young brother when I was on my man Q Butter's channel who said that he's from Liberia. And he said when he came into the country, and this is a fact, folks, some of our African brothers and sisters, when they come over here and other immigrants come over here, they're told and given an orientation to stay away from Negroes. Stay away
real talk.
American Black. Now, is that real talk? Is that not real talk?
That's real.
Stay away from us. And that's true.
Tell the truth.
What are your thoughts, Bmiles?
That is absolutely correct, man. I've actually been around like other immigrants and stuff like that, and they are often told to not even deal with us. You know what I'm saying? They're often told a lot of times to not even deal with us, though, man. And you know, they don't participate in none of our struggles and stuff like that, man. And I've actually been told this by Africans. I was actually even told this by even some Black Latinos and stuff like that, because many a times, you know, the older generation, they always the older generation, they don't want their children to hang around us, but a lot of times it's the younger generation that wants to get around us. But you know what I'm saying? And with all these other Black immigrants, when they come over here, they are very tribalistic and they see it as competition. They are given the orientation and they are shown negative images that we're nothing but crooks, thieves, thugs, and criminals. And these people always come over here and look down on us all the time. And to me, it is not right. It's not fair, because we have fought and bled and died, and we have been putting up the fight for these people to be over here. And without the 1965 Immigration Act, none of these immigrants will be over here. And to me, I'm tired of trying to lecture them, you know what I mean? I'm tired of trying to lecture these people, you know what I mean, to try to let them know that we're not a lazy people. I actually had a conversation with a girl from Nigeria. She was like, you guys are lazy. And I really had to scold her. Like, I was like, now, who built this country? And every time when we try to give them the history about the country, many times they act like they don't even care. They don't even care. They don't want to associate with us. But now that we get in a code being tribalistic, it's like right then it's like they want to use they want to use blackness when it's convenient for them. And to me, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of them only want to associate with us when it's convenient for them, because they always give them the upper hand and ride off our struggle, but then turn around and say, oh, we lazy. And that is one of my gripes that I have with Black immigrants. And that's the reason why a lot of us are keeping our distance. Because it's been many times over the years that we open our arms to them, and only for them to say, well, I'm not Black, I'm Dominican, but I'm not Black, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm not Black, I'm this, I'm this, you know what I mean? Or I'm not Black, I'm part this. You feel me?
Yes.
And it always seems like these are the same people who mock and emulate everything what we do and want to, you know what I mean, benefit from our culture, but don't want to identify. You know, that's one of the main gripes that I have with Black immigrants, is that you don't want to align yourself with the same people who helped you benefit.
Let me just say something right now. This is breaking news. All right. Granville Woods is the originator of the telephone. Granville Woods is a black man. The telephone that he created was more superior to Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. So it was a black man who originally made the telephone that we're using. So these cell phones that we have, all of the technology that we have, Granville, but of course, a lot of black folks got their inventions stolen, and then the man would take credit for it. Check this out. Granville Woods also created the railroad air brakes. Okay, he was the first to create the first safety measures to stopping trains in 1903. Okay, Granville Woods is responsible for creating the third rail on your trains. Okay, Gary Morgan created the stoplight. Okay, George Washington Carver, we know what he did with the peanut. Okay, Grand A. Morgan created the automatic traffic signal. That's a black man who created that. Okay, let me read more. Kitchen table was created by H.A. Jackson. A black man created the kitchen table. Okay, now Henry Blair, mechanical corn livestock. Okay, J.B. Winters, fire escape ladder created by another black person. This is breaking news. Airship. The airship was created by J.F. Picking. Okay. The lemon squeezer, J.A. White created that. The airplane propellant. The airplane propellant was created by J.A. Let me see here. The airplane propellant was created by James S. Anderson. Okay, the ranch was created by John A. Johnson, which was, the monkey ranch was created by Jack Johnson, the boxer. How many of y'all know that Jack Johnson created that? Okay. The medical tray was created by John Clark. All right. And I can go on and on and on. Okay. The typewriter, 1885, was invented by L.S. Brangin and N.W. Marshall. Okay, so black people have contributed to, and the ice box that keeps our food cool was created by a black person as well. The computers that we use, there was a black man involved in the computer industry. All these things that are in this society, black people have been involved in. The iron that you use on your iron board, created by a black person. Can I go on? I can go on and on and on with this breaking news. Okay, there's so much that I can talk about. The window cleaner, created by a black person. Okay, plastic fork, biscuit cutters. Ice cream was originally invented by a black man in 1832, and that black man's name is Augustus Jackson. Is the true originator of ice cream. And folks, you can do your research because black people have created many, many great things. With that said, any last words, Brother Bmiles, before I put a crescendo?
Man, I'm gonna just say peace and blessings to everybody, man. And I definitely gonna say that I really enjoyed my time up on this live stream and stuff like that. And we definitely gonna be talking about more. And I definitely say to like all the people that's new to the channel, you know what I'm saying, hit the like, subscribe button and stuff like that. And get ready for like the second channel that's going to be coming sometime like in March. So that's going to be real big. And I definitely will say it's going to be we're going to get this thing cracking for 2019. We're going to keep this thing pushing.
Okay, Brother Miles, I'm going to be over at your channel more often, brother. I got to just stay on top of making sure I turn my my notifications on. Sometimes I turn them off when I'm not using my phone, so it doesn't burn data. But that helps me to know what's going on YouTube at all times. So you'll see me over there, brother. I'm sure that we'll be doing more stuff together in the future. I got to get you on some panels because right now what I'm doing, Brother Bmiles, I want to put together a sort of a black commission. I want to put together a 10-man panel and put a sister or two on that panel where we can have discussions in a philosophical manner that lead to solutions. I don't want a panel where we just talk about the problems and we don't give solutions. We're not talking about a bunch of no solutions, baby. I want black folks on that panel that are coming with solutions in hand. So I've got some folks in mind that I'm going to be bringing on the panels in rotation, and you are one of the brothers I want to bring on from time to time. And there's a lot of sisters out there that are really dynamic that I want to bring on from time to time. So I'm trying behind the scenes I got my lineup together, and we're going to do this powerfully, and we're going to do it right. So thank you, brother. Everybody out there, thank you for watching the show tonight. Brother Miles, thank you. I'm going to put our avatar back up there as I end the show with the music and all the good stuff, all the special effects. Thank you, brother, for being with us. Go and everything like that, brother. So have a good night, brother Bmiles. Let me give you a clap for being here. What a brother, because I'm glad that you're here. Woo! Let me put that up. Let me put that up again. I love that avatar that I made of us together, brother. Let me share my screen and pop that away. All right, brother. Good night to you, brother Bmiles. Brother Bmiles.
Peace, bro.
Peace, brother. Oh, where's that avatar I had? Oh, God, let me stop this right now and go back over here. Everybody, I thank you for being with us tonight. This has been a great, great show. Definitely, indeed. I'm glad to have everybody that was here tonight to join in the discussion, to listen. And I know that everybody has their favorite YouTubers out there that they want to listen to and join tonight. So I'm going to end it so everybody can check out all the other shows that are going on. I know you all have a lot of choices. I thank you for being over here with me, spending a little time with us tonight. I really appreciate it. And we're going to end the program with that said. And I love you all for being here as always. Peace.
The info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. It's the info. The info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. It's the info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. Info. We got the info. Whatever you want to know, come join the info show. All over this nation, you can bring your A team, but if you want to win, please don't bring your debate team. We talk together, Shogun, Aztecs, old mix, African Dogon. You're listening.
Everybody out there, thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the other streams that are on tonight. I know there's a lot of exciting things that are probably happening on YouTube tonight as usual. Thank you for being here. And do me a favor, if you could, please share the video in your individual social media so that other people can get a chance to see this and that the word gets out about what we're doing over here. I support you. Thank you for supporting me. No matter how big my channel get or how big I get on YouTube, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I actually spend a lot of time going to smaller YouTube channels, folks, and supporting smaller YouTubers, watching what they're doing, watching their growth, and contributing. That's why you see me everywhere. I'll go to anybody's channel. I don't care if it's 2 people in that channel. I will go in there and say what's up to whoever's got a live stream and doing something positive, because we are not bigger than anybody. We're in this together. It's going to take us as a family to work through our issues as a people. And I'm not saying that that it's going to be easy for us to get reparations. I'm not saying that we're going to get it today, tomorrow, or next year, but I think that we could do something today to lay the seeds for our future and our children for tomorrow. I know that sounds like a Hallmark card, but I'm just saying it like it is. So I thank you again. This is the Information Man. And I want to thank everybody who gave me a super chat tonight. If I didn't pronounce your name right, I apologize. It was nothing personal. As I get to know, and if you are new to the channel, you know what to do. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and follow me and tell other people about the channel. I have some very dynamic stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm going to be having some dynamic panels. I'm going to continue to push the envelope with content, information that can wake people's minds up. I'm just going to keep doing it and doing it. Now, you will see me doing a lot more of these pre-produced premiere videos. And I think I've never done this, and I need to do this. I think I'm going to start getting on a regular schedule. So I think every Tuesday, you can expect a premiere video from me that will be dropped Tuesday at 8:30. And then I think on the weekends, I'll drop a premiere video every Saturday. If I don't drop a premiere video, it's because I'm going to have a panel. Okay. Another announcement I must make. Tomorrow, you must tune in for the second part of my dynamic interview with the Lockheed Boss Lady. I'm going to repeat that again. Lockheed Boss Lady will be back with me 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and 8 a.m. West Coast Time, which is my time. So tomorrow, me and the Lockheed Boss Lady will get into it again with some more real truth conversation. It will be a part 2 conversation. We're going to get a little bit deeper. I want everybody, if you are up that early, to come on over and support that program tomorrow. I thank you. Everybody out there in Spreaker that's listening to me, thank you for support. I love everyone's support. Let me give a shout out to the Loud Morphe Diva. Thanks, sister, for being here. I appreciate that. She's one of the sisters that we have in the chat room over in Spreaker. So thank you. Big L, if you're out there listening, you've been a big supporter of me, brother, since I had crickets in the chat room. Thank you for being here. We've got Girls World Poetic Celts. Thank you for being here. Real Aaron Collins. We got the Educated Smoker. Thank you for being here. Old Reliable is here. We got Jasmine Virgo that's here. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine, you've been coming around very much lately, so you're going to be due to get a mod. I'm going to be modding you up very soon. We got Real Aaron Collins. We got this brother right here. Once again, let me just hit this brother. I'm going to give this brother a mod because his brother's been doing good by me. So I'm going to mod him up, and he'll notice when he's modded up. Let's see. Who else? Oh, we got Brother Joe. Thank you for being here. Brother Joe, I appreciate you being here tonight. We got Six Figure Days. Six Figure Days has been running hard with me. We got Larry M. He says, thank you, Information Man, chat and all. Hey, Larry M., you know what to do. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and follow the channel. Brother Joe, I see you, Brother Joe Whitefield. Thank you, brother, for being here. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. But Brother Joe, I love you for coming over. I've been noticing that you've been riding with me lately, Joe. So I'm gonna tell you, brother. I know that you normally be over on Nyla's channel, and you normally be on Renaissance channel. But I noticed you've been riding with me pretty hard lately, brother. So believe me, brother, it does not go unrecognized that you've been supporting me, brother. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank my brothers of the BAIO that are out there, brothers and sisters that are listening. Thank you. Land, infrastructure, and nationhood. Let me see. Queen, I know I am. Thank you for being here. Gadget 2800. Hey, brother Gadget, thank you for being here. I know the last time we were on with the Black Brain Trust, there was, it was a controversial conversation, but thank you for coming on back, brother. Everybody's not going to always agree. We got Tasha, the great Tasha. Thank you for being here. I think, Tasha, you're due to get a ranch as well, to be moderated up. You've been riding with me strong. And Gadget 28, you've been riding with me strong. So I'm watching people who have been really coming over and support. We got Michael Cooper. Thank you for coming over. If you like what I'm doing, definitely follow the channel. We got Miss Reed. Thank you. We got Fly Seas, the Black Indian. Thank you. We got Sister EE, who's been riding with me strong. Thank you. And we got Marsha. We got Ben Yahweh. Or this brother must be Hebrew, Black Hebrew Israelite. Powerful, powerful. Sorry if I said any names wrong. Miss Kiwi 8, thank you to being here. Let me give you a shout out in the chat room. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Let me see here. Thank you. All right. We got a lot of great people. I want to say shout out to Machine Power, who came over and supported earlier tonight. G Scott ADOS, thank you for being here, for supporting. Let me see who else I might have missed. I think brother Cap was here. Brother PY2 Cap, thank you, brother Cap, for supporting me tonight. If I forgot to give you a shout out, brother, apologize for that, because you are a good brother, been riding with me hard. And we got the Queen. We got, let me get a shout out to you too in the chat room. I'm just giving out my proper respect to everybody that's been riding with the program right now. Let me see who else is in here. Discussions, and let me see. So thank you, everybody. I'm about to end, and we got Sister. Let me see. Where's the sister at? Right here. I'm going to give you a chat room greeting. And here you go. Peace and thank you. All right, folks, I'm about to end the program. Thank you for being here. We got to go and enjoy the rest of YouTube tonight, and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Lockheed Boss Lady. Thank you very much, and good night. Whoa. And here we go. Boom.